Have you ever wondered how far you'd go for the people you love? What if saving them meant you couldn't speak, not even a single word, for 6 long years? This is the story of a princess who faced just that. A tale of love, sacrifice, and a silence that screamed louder than any words. Get ready for the story of the Six Swans. Once upon a time, a king, a great hunter, found himself lost deep within a dark, enchanted forest. No matter which path he took, he only went deeper into the woods. As dusk fell, an old woman with a wobbling head appeared before him. She was a witch. She offered to show him the way out, but her price was steep. He had to marry her beautiful daughter. The king, fearing he'd perish in the forest, reluctantly agreed. Now, this king had 6 handsome sons and 1 lovely daughter from his first marriage, and he loved them more than anything. Fearing his new queen might harm them, he hid them away in a secret castle, nestled so deep in another forest that the path was nearly impossible to find. He would visit them using a magical ball of yarn that would unroll and show him the way. But the new queen was as clever as she was cruel. She grew suspicious of the king's frequent absences. She bribed his servants with heaps of gold, and they revealed the secret of the hidden castle and the magical yarn. The queen, consumed by jealousy, spent days sewing 6 small, white silk shirts. But these were no ordinary shirts. She had woven powerful witchcraft into every single thread. One day, when the king was out hunting, the queen took the magical ball of yarn and followed its path to the secret castle. The 6 princes, seeing someone approach from a distance, thought it was their beloved father and ran out to greet her. As they ran towards her, the wicked queen threw the enchanted shirts over them. The moment the silk touched their skin, they were transformed into 6 magnificent white swans. The swans soared high into the sky, their mournful cries echoing through the forest. The queen, triumphant, returned to her palace believing she had rid herself of her stepchildren for good. She was unaware of the 7th child, the young princess, who had not run out to meet her. The next day the king went to visit his children, but he found only his daughter, weeping. "Where are your brothers?" he asked, his heart sinking. "Oh, dear father," she cried, "they are gone, and evil has taken them." She told him how she had watched from her window as her brothers were turned into swans and flew away over the forest. She even showed him a few swan feathers they had dropped in the courtyard. The king was heartbroken, but he never suspected his own wife was the cause of this tragedy. Fearing for his daughter's safety, he planned to take her back to his own court. But the princess, terrified of her stepmother, begged him to let her stay just one more night at the hidden castle. That night, under the cover of darkness, the princess fled. She ran deep into the wilderness, determined to find and save her brothers. She ran all through the night and the next day until her legs could carry her no further. She found a humble hut in the woods and, exhausted, fell asleep inside. When she awoke, she found herself in a simple room. On the wall, she saw 6 little shirts, and she knew in her heart that this must be the home of her swan brothers. She hid and waited. As the sun began to set, she heard a rushing sound in the air. 6 white swans flew in through the window and landed on the floor. They began to blow on one another, and as they did, their swan skins peeled off like shirts. Standing before her were her 6 brothers, human once more. They embraced, tears of joy streaming down their faces. But their reunion was bittersweet. "We can only take our human form for 15 minutes each evening," her eldest brother explained. "Then we must become swans again. This hut belongs to robbers, so we cannot stay." "Is there no way to break this spell?" she asked, her voice trembling. "The conditions are almost impossible," he replied with a heavy heart. "For 6 years, you must not speak a single word. And in that time, you must sew 6 shirts for us, made from starflowers. If a single word escapes your lips before the work is done, all your efforts will be for nothing." The princess looked at her beloved brothers. Their faces were filled with sorrow but also a flicker of hope. In that moment, she made a solemn vow. She would endure the silence. She would complete the impossible task. She would save them, no matter the cost. And so, with a firm resolution in her heart, she left the hut, found a tall tree in the heart of the forest, and made it her home. There, she spent her days gathering starflowers and her nights silently weaving them into shirts. She spoke to no one, not even to herself. For years, she lived this solitary life. She never laughed, never cried out, never uttered a sound. Her only companions were the rustling leaves and the distant stars. One day, the king of the land was out hunting in the same forest. His hunters spotted the beautiful, silent girl in the tree. The king, captivated by her grace and mysterious beauty, was instantly smitten. He asked her to come down. He asked for her name, but she only shook her head, remaining silent. He gently lifted her down from the tree himself, wrapped her in his rich cloak, and placed her on his horse. "If you will be my wife," he said, his voice full of warmth, "I will love you more than anyone in the world." She couldn't speak, but she looked at him with her deep, expressive eyes and gave a slight nod. And so, they were married in a grand celebration. But the king's mother was a wicked and jealous woman. She despised the new, silent queen. "Who is this girl who cannot speak?" she would mutter. "She's not fit to be a queen." A year passed, and the queen gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. The king's old mother saw her chance. While the young queen was asleep, the wicked mother stole the child and smeared the queen's mouth with blood. She then went to the king and accused his wife of being a monster who had devoured her own child. The king, who loved his wife dearly, refused to believe it. He knew she was gentle and good. But because the queen could not speak to defend herself, a seed of doubt was planted. This horrible act was repeated twice more. The queen gave birth to 2 more healthy children, and each time, the wicked mother-in-law stole them away and framed the silent queen. The people of the kingdom began to whisper and murmur. The evidence, though fabricated, was overwhelming. With a heavy heart, the king could no longer protect her. The silent queen was condemned to be burned at the stake. On the very day she was to be executed, the 6 years of her trial came to an end. She had finished all 6 shirts, except for the last one, which was missing its left sleeve. As she was led to the pyre, she clutched the precious starflower shirts in her arms. She was tied to the stake, and the fire was about to be lit. She looked up at the sky, her heart pounding with both fear and hope. Suddenly, a rushing sound filled the air. 6 white swans came soaring down from the clouds. The crowd gasped in amazement. The swans landed near the pyre, and the queen threw the shirts over them. Instantly, their swan skins fell away, and her 6 handsome brothers stood before her, whole and human again. Well, almost. The youngest brother was missing his left arm, and in its place was a swan's wing. The queen, her vow of silence finally fulfilled, could now speak. She turned to the astonished king and explained everything. The curse, her 6 years of silence, the starflower shirts, and the wicked deeds of his mother. The king, overjoyed to have his wife back and to learn the truth, ordered the stolen children to be brought forth. They had been hidden by the evil mother-in-law. The wicked woman was brought to justice for her terrible crimes. The king, the queen, and her 6 brothers lived together in peace and happiness for the rest of their days. The princess's sacrifice, a testament to the incredible power of love and perseverance, had saved them all. Her silence had been her strength, and her love, the magic that broke the cruelest of spells. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more tales from the world of folklore and fairy tales. Until next time, stay curious